כרגע זה שאני הולך להגיד כמה מילים, אחרי זה אנחנו נסיים באמת את האותיות האחרונות, ואז יש נוסח של הכנסת ספר תורה שאנחנו נגיד גול או חלק או משהו כזה, ואז where's Jonathan?
Here, Tani, come.
אני ברשותכם אני אדבר באנגלית. Okay, are all of our kids here? Okay. The ones we know about? This is such a special occasion, and I'm blessed to be here celebrating with everybody. Today we're celebrating the completion of this Sefer Torah, and I want to begin by publicly expressing my thanks to Hashem, Shechianu v'kimanu v'gianu l'zman hazeh. Since this is a family Torah, I want to address my family with just a few words, and that's my kids. There are things you're born into and things that we choose for ourselves. We're born into our nation and our religion and our customs and into our town and our country. We're also born into our little family, bigger family. Our family isn't the beginning or the end, it's the middle of a chain. I'll leave me and Ima out of this for now. You're familiar with that part of the chain. You kids have been blessed to spend a lot of happy times with my parents, Saba and Savta Michelson, and Ofi's parents, Saba and Savta Katz. You've learned a lot by just seeing how they live and what's important to them and where they put their efforts. Out of Ima and my grandparents, some of you knew my Saba, my father's father, Rav Asher Liao Michelson, as well as Ima's Saba, Rav Menachem Tzvi Greenfeld. All of you knew Savta Gita very well. You may remember her story about growing up in Hungary and having to smuggle chickens on trains to make a living. You heard about how she took a very brave action, stepping out of the line to the gas chamber in Auschwitz, joining another more promising line instead. If she hadn't, we can assume that none of us would be here now. She did many important things in her life, protecting her family's cholent pots from the Fedayeen. In Tifrach, she had a gun. She cooked for orphans, she made a living as a tailor, and of course she raised her children, Savta Katz and Uncle Shiu. She said Tehillim every day, a lot of Tehillim. She was so proud of Daniel and Yonatan for serving in the army. We chose to write on the Me'il, Bizchut Nashim Tzidkaniyot Nigalu Yisrael. What were we talking about? Savta Gita would talk about several core beliefs consistently. Zchut Avot, Misoret, and Chinuch. This was her brand. Zchut Avot, this was her humility. She didn't feel she deserved great gifts that she got from Hashem. They were clearly because of mitzvot and good deeds of our close and distant relatives, our avot and our imahot. Misoret, this is how we know what is appropriate to do. She had a simple and incredibly pure belief in Hashem, and also in the right way to do what Hashem wants. We follow those who came before us. This also expressed her humility and her desire to do what is right. Chinuch, education. Learning Torah and Derech Eretz. At least once a day she would say that what you learn is not a possession that can be taken away. She must have influenced me. I'd keep telling my kids, education is about sharpening and expanding your brain. Not just what you know, but how you think, how to reason. It's your most prized asset. As we dedicate this Torah today, we think about those who came before us today, and especially our grandmothers. My Savta Reba Mager, my mother's mother, who I remember as a sharp and determined woman, for whom education and tradition were important. She was always getting things done. My Savta Leah Michelson, my father's mother, who was a highly educated woman, who I only remember visiting once or twice in her home in Queens. Savta Chana Katz, who I didn't know, but apparently was a very serious yeki. I understand that she would check her watch to make sure that she was hungry for a meal. It had to be the right time. And Savta Tova Gita Greenfeld, who we just spoke about. I started by saying there are things that you're born into and things that you choose for yourself. What bridges between those? I think the answer is before us. It's a Torah. If you have to describe what's in there, it's Zchut Avot, Mesoret, and Chinuch. The world is going to present all kinds of opportunities and challenges. Daniel, should he start a business? Should he go study? Maybe both. Yonatan, do you put all your money in Bitcoin? Maybe in altcoins?
לא דיברת על חתונה.
נגיע לזה. יעל, לא, טוב, חתונה. יעל, you have another year of Shirut Lomi. Do you work with elderly? Do you work with kids? Chatuna. Who am I? לא אני. Menachem, You enjoy Mada, do you keep advancing in ambulance care, or biotech, or medicine, something else, Chani? You doubt your abilities in school, and then you ace the tests. What does this mean about your future? Ellie, you love reading, but actually choosing a book to read seems daunting. Can you become more of a self-starter? Nomi Nayelet, if you ever go back to school, how hard should you try? As we bring this Torah into our home, we're making a bold statement. This is a home that values Torah, and Zchut Avot, and Mesoret, and Chinuch, that are symbolized by the Torah. As we move forward as a family, in each of you on your individual paths, I want you to look at the great examples of your great-grandmothers, without whom we would not be here today. Each of them had clear direction and determination, and we know at least some of their most important missions have succeeded, as we've been blessed with such wonderful children, who, while they may not have clear direction, are confident, some would say overconfident, and determined. Your great-grandmothers were born in 4 different countries. They all spoke Yiddish. And they were different in many ways, but for all of them, Torah was an important guide. Lastly, I want to thank my wife, Ophira, Loaf. You have the same unwavering, pure faith in Hashem that Savta Gita had. You care for everyone and pay attention to their needs, leaving your own needs for later. You care about our kids so much that some would say you go too far. Not me, of course. You have a great love for Torah and a great respect for Masoret. Thank you all for all you do and for making all of this possible, our whole lives possible. Thank you all for coming to celebrate with us. Maybe we zoche to gather together in good health for many happy occasions. V'nisan nigalu, v'nisan atidin ligad.